Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the ADHD Gamer, your weekly gaming and pop culture podcast. I am one of your hosts, Michael McMahon, and as always, joined by my co-host, Mr. Jonathan Franklin.
What's up, ADHD gamers?
Hey, Jonathan.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. We want to welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. You too. Your beard's gotten longer.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I do. Thicken it out a little bit.
You should. I think you should thicken out the whole thing. We're going to welcome everybody to episode 20?
Is this our 20th episode?
No.
I thought it was 19. It's got to be 19.
It's got to be 19. I feel like it's 19. It is 19. Okay.
Yeah. No,
okay.
Next episode. Oh, hey, for our next episode, I should get you that damn gummy bear.
I know. We got to do that. Fuck, we've been forgetting about it. We got to do that shit. We got to do a lot of shit. I don't like being an adult. I don't like this.
Damn it!
I don't like this. So once again, everybody, welcome to episode number 19. I apologize, 19 of the ADHD Gamer. I'm really happy that we've gotten this far. Jesus.
Me too, man.
It's been long.
We've been doing this for a minute now.
I know, it feels like. Well, actually, we started in February, and we took a month or two off, so 8 months ago, and we took
February.
Well, our first episode was in February, and then we took it was whatever day I got my Switch. that was the only way I remember that. And then we took a couple months off for something I forgot we did, or a couple weeks or months or something like that, and then we came back. And it was pretty solid. So. Oh, it was when we were trying to switch from doing at your house to doing everything like we're doing now.
Oh, online stream and stuff like that.
It was when we started doing that. So, man.
We had a lot of rough starts in the beginning, but now I think we got this nice.
And it's still rough. I mean, there's still some rough features.
It's a lot smoother.
Definitely. Like audio listeners obviously don't have a problem with the latency of the voice, but I mean, if anybody that watches video will notice a small latency in you because I'm having to run a certain source from Skype to here into OBS. So, and nobody knows what we're talking about, but yeah, that's the people will notice that small latency, and we were just talking about it. I got to figure out a way and see if there is a way. There might not be one. So, it's the problem with just
you can figure it out.
Yeah, it's the problem with just coming down to streaming. We're coming down to the streaming future. But it's all
we're starting to land where we're in a good spot.
Right.
So I feel like we're moving there.
Right.
So sounding a little more professional at least every day.
And actually, after this, I'm actually going to start creating thumbnails for the videos. Instead of having just like faces on thumbnails, I'm going to start creating thumbnails for each video for YouTube and for also Facebook. So it'll be the first thing you see, kind of like what you see on when you're scrolling through YouTube. You know, you see the thumbnails of the whatever the video. Ooh, that looks interesting. Bam. You know, I'm gonna do something like that. So yeah, guys, you can check us out everywhere. Obviously, Facebook, YouTube. Hold on, Jonathan, go ahead. Facebook. Let's do this again.
Facebook.
There we go. YouTube. I have not. In all honesty, have not checked how many subscribers we have on our YouTube. I am going to do that while I'm talking, and I'm going to see, because I want to see if anybody said something since I've been bitching about it, and see if we can get we can get our finally get this ADHD Gamer Podcast URL, because I don't know. We'll see. Also, get us on Instagram. Jonathan's been posting some stuff on Instagram and doing stuff of that nature.
Here and there.
Here and there. You've been doing, but you're doing fine. Audio listeners, you can always check us out on podcast services around the world. Really anywhere you want to. We have 14 subscribers. So,
well, hey, that's a lot more than
I'm fine with that, because we're up 1 from last week. I did check it last week and we were at 13. I will take that, and thank you to whoever that was.
Hey, thank you, guy or gal,
yeah.
or other. Thank you.
I was gonna say thank you LGBT or Q, but I did not. So thank you, guy or gal.
Add the plus in there.
Gotta add the plus. Gotta add the plus in there.
Gotta add
the plus. So thank you to whoever subscribed, and please, guys, help us get to 100 subscribers. I mean, it would be very helpful. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends to do. I don't even care if they listen. Just do them. Tell them to do it. Just so we can get that URL, because it's a bunch of fucking numbers that I don't feel like putting on here and looking very unprofessional.
Get your grandpa's phone. Start scrolling through it and just hit the subscribe.
Yep.
That'll be all your family members.
You know what?
Whatever.
I don't think I've made my little brother do it. I'm gonna make him and all 3 of his friends do it. That way we can get more out of that too.
I'm gonna create like 12 Gmail
It's
accounts.
just like, that's an awesome idea. That's an awesome idea.
It's cheating, but nobody
You need
cares.
to create a YouTube account for every single one of your kids and have them do it, and then do one for Sam and have her do it. I'm gonna that way. I'm gonna create one for my 3-month-old and then have her do it as well. But it won't be fake because I'm gonna have her actually push the button with her finger.
That's
That way it's real.
That's
that way
true.
it's real. That way it's not me doing it. It's real.
It only has to happen one time.
That's right. Only once.
Are you gonna just literally like grab her finger and go boop?
Yep. She pushed it.
Put your name in, sweetie.
She did it. I didn't. No, I'll create her the account, but she's gonna push the button. I mean, she's gonna push the little subscribe thing.
She's gonna push send.
Yeah.
Now aim for the little box that says "I am not a robot."
Do that one. Do that one. Do that one.
That one. All right, find the taxis.
So, yeah, guys, help us get to that, man. I mean, we're thankful to get the small subscribers we have, and we thank you guys for listening. We actually don't even know how many of y'all listen, but I mean, I'm gonna guess it's not much. But once again, we want to thank y'all for sticking with us. And I know we're not. You got to remember, guys, we're not making any money off this. If anything, we're losing. So.
It's really just de-stressing for us. But
yeah.
If you watch it, then fucking cool.
It's like it's de-stressing, but then it's stressing at the same time. Like it's both.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, thank God I've actually gotten into a mode of putting the show together each week now, and it's fucking lovely, and I'm loving every single moment of it. So it's going well. So whoa, what is going on there? Oh. I had a video from one of the news links. I had a video playing in my ear from GameSpot. GameSpot automatically plays video links for some reason instead of letting you click on it. So it automatically played. I was like, "Whoa, that don't sound like Jonathan. That sounded like an Asian guy," and it was an Asian guy.
I'm sitting here thinking, "Oh, you got 2 girls, 1 cup popping up."
No, but that does sound fun. Maybe I might.
No,
maybe that. Oh, maybe that'll be the title of our episode.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus, no.
2 headsets, 1 controller.
Nice.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be it. I like that.
Really, we're trying to play together, you know.
I like that. So I like that solid feature. I think I might actually. I look for. Hate to tell you, man. The hardest thing every week about doing this is finding a fucking title. Like, that's why I'm trying to say it during the show when I'm doing this, because when I'm editing, I'll listen to it and I'll pay attention. I'll be like, oh, I said this. Oh, I said this. Or, oh, he said this. And, oh, he said this. But that's why I'm thinking.
If you ever need help figuring out what a title is, you can just ask me, buddy.
Well, that's why I talk about it during the show, because it's kind of, yeah. I want to come up with something funny. Like right now, 2 controllers, 1 headset will be possibly the title of this right now until something funnier comes up later. So, it's just I'm trying to gate with something. Last week we had a couple, and the week before, and then before, I try to do funny stuff. Like I learned from another wonderful podcast that everybody should go listen to is the Giant Bombcast, and their titles of their episodes is just funny shit they say during their shows, and I'm like, oh man, I love that idea. Instead of episode 9 something really boring, episode blah blah, blah something really boring. Like one of our fucking episodes is called DDP Yoga because it was something you said, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll put that in there. You know, so yeah, man.
DDP Yoga. That
DDP
was such.
Yoga.
I really listen. He does a good job with that, even though he's fucking crazy. All right, we won't get back into DDP Yoga. we can bring back again. DDP Yoga 2 is the
DDP
title.
Yoga comes back. The return of DDP Yoga. There it is. There it is. All right, man. You want to hop into the news?
Yeah, let's hop in the news, man.
Right. You got this. You got the first link pulled up here. All right.
Yeah,
man.
I do. So we have got. I'm sorry, my mouse is all fucked up. Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 possibly going to be announced at BlizzCon 2012.
2012.
There's been a lot of. Sorry, buddy.
Jesus.
The new BlizzCon that's coming
7
out
years
this
ago.
coming week.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Whoops. I literally thought I read that. But this has kind of been going on for a hot minute. There has been rumors swelling about Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 for a hot minute. it's not really too much of a surprise, to be honest with you. And they came out with this advertisement.
This is
I believe it was
a
a German
a
magazine.
German
What was
magazine
it?
called GameStar.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is, right there, GameStar. They came out with a thing called Art of Diablo, and it includes
It's an
artwork
ad.
from Diablo 1, 2, 3, and Diablo 4. So that's the advertisement that they had on there. That's where we're kind of getting our information. And I'm kind of looking at it right now. It's just like a short page. Um, got a nice ISBN number at the bottom, kind of giving us the idea of what's coming out. And they list Diablo as Diablo IV, which is obviously Roman numerals
And
for
I
four.
mean, Blizzard
So
has said multiple times that it has multiple Diablo projects out there. The only one that we obviously know about is the Diablo Immortal that was discussed last year at BlizzCon that pissed everybody off. So I mean, this could be a Diablo 4. They could be, I mean, speculation, but they could mean Diablo 4 as in Diablo Immortal. They could consider that. But at the same time, if this is I mean, the other thing to remember from this is, I'm not sure if it says it in this article we're reading here, Jonathan. By the way, this article is at GameSpot from Richard Wakeling. If this this issue of this magazine was supposed to come out in November, so BlizzCon is November 1st, the weekend of November 1st, so next weekend. This issue of this magazine was supposed to come out the week after BlizzCon. So it's kind of weird that that's supposed to happen, because that means, okay, Blizzard, because obviously this is a Blizzard ad in this magazine. We were going to add, so the weekend BlizzCon, we're going to go ahead and announce this, but I don't want y'all to release this magazine until afterwards, because obviously it says Diablo 4 right there. That makes me think, okay, yeah, you're going to talk about Diablo 4 at BlizzCon, which is obviously not the reason a lot of us are going to watch BlizzCon, but
no, I really want to watch BlizzCon for some fucking protesters and see what they do.
Our pre-show tonight got into it was, I don't want to say heated discussion, because we weren't arguing about anything, but it was a nice conversation about, you know, what's been happening and our takes on, you know, what's going to happen.
It was a good intellectual discussion.
It was. I agree. Yeah. Which a lot of us don't have anymore, because people get fucking offended by everything. It's sad to say this, but I told Jonathan this beforehand, which I don't even know why I told him this. As we all know, Activision owns Blizzard. Activision also owns Infinity Ward, which also released Modern Warfare, which came out yesterday. And yes, I did buy it. And no, I don't have anything to say about it besides the fact that I love it, and I don't really care what anybody has to say. You know, it's kind of one of them things. Like I told Jonathan, it's one of them things where do I think you should, with this whole situation with Blizzard, and we've talked about this enough, but just to get into it, guys, if you feel like you want to play Modern Warfare, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. It's a wonderful game for me. We didn't even talk about what we were playing. Jesus, man, we're off with this week. So we'll do that after the news. But anyway, the game is amazing. I'll talk about it a little bit later. If you want to buy the game, guys, go buy it. If you feel like it, you know, it's one of the things where you're going to have to figure out on your own as an individual person if you want to do this, if you want to boycott this company, if you want to do this, if you want to do that. The one thing I'll tell you is my reasoning, which I don't have to give you a reason because I don't care, but my reasoning really for buying this game was simple. I don't feel like Infinity Ward had anything to do with this, you know, developer. So, yeah, man, and it's. I'm ready for BlizzCon. I want to see what's going to happen. And like I said, you won't see this. You won't see what's happening outside. Like I told you before, and like I told you before the show, Jonathan, everything outside is going to be fucking hectic because there is going to be a shitload of protests. Inside is going to be fine. Here's the thing. I think they've actually turned down people asking questions, because they know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to say, oh yeah, man, I'm not going to say nothing about that. And then they're going to come up to the mic and they're going to ask it. And then they're going to have to show this person being taken off by security on camera, which is going to make them look even worse. In my opinion, Blizzard should have just took an L, as the young kids say nowadays, took the L and said, you know what, cancel BlizzCon. And you know what, let's not make a massive statement about it, but let me have a press conference on it. You know, nobody's obviously going to watch that, but true Blizzard people, Blizzard lovers anyway, but the gaming community would now because of this, just to see what they would say, even though I think it's too late. So
I wouldn't be surprised if they modified their whole con to reduce Q&A and make it more of a display.
I believe
content
they've already said they're doing that at the panels. I believe they said there's no questions asking at the panels at all, I believe. Could be wrong. I do believe.
Which is kind of bullshit, to be honest with you. It's all information control, whatever, and we can argue about the morality of that, but that's not really the point. And like you said, with everybody kind of needs to do their own research and figure out where you stand on it and where you need to get involved, if you choose to get involved at all. I was saying before that China owns a certain percentage of Activision, or they get a certain number of profits from China. I believe you said it was 15%.
Yeah, they get about 15% from China.
Yeah. If 30% of the American base goes and says, "Hey, well, we're not putting up with this. We're not buying Activision products," and they lose 30% of profits, who are they going to choose? They're going to choose China, who is trying to force us to think a certain way, and control the information we get, or
you're losing.
Are they going to take that stand to get their main
base
back?
Are you losing 15% or are you losing 30%? Which one do you want to lose?
No. Exactly, and there is good and bad things about that, and kind of what we discussed about. Well, does that include banning Activision and not doing Activision games? Well, to your point that you brought up, a big thing is these individual developers are making these games like Infinity Ward and and so on and so forth that aren't necessarily connected to Blizzard. We've got Blizzard games that are mainstays like fucking Overwatch and Diablo and things like that. I feel like for me personally, it's going to be not playing those games as my own personal statement. Then again, I'm not really that upset about not playing Diablo. But everybody's kind of got to decide whether they decide, and you shouldn't feel bad either for choosing just to keep living your life and playing these fucking games.
I mean, I don't think it's now like with me, like I've said multiple times, I don't like this. I've also, once again, before anybody goes off on me, I've stated this multiple times. I am ignorant with government shit. I am ignorant with politics. I'm ignorant with all this stuff. The way this goes with me is it's simple. I don't like it. I don't like anything that's going on. I have paid attention. I don't like anything that's going on. I feel like China's trying to rule everybody. And with this whole situation going on, am I going to boycott Blizzard? I really can't boycott something I don't play. I don't play a lot of Blizzard games. I played Overwatch. I've already stated that I've fucking just uninstalled that, and I just don't care to play. I don't care to play Overwatch. I got my fill of Overwatch years ago. Now the bad part about it is, here's where it comes down to. Okay, BlizzCon, they're talking about Diablo 4. I am a Diablo fan. I've always been a Diablo fan. Diablo's been my favorite Blizzard franchise of all time, and here it comes now they're trying to pull. Now here's where I have to step up with my own morals and say, okay, I said I wasn't going to do anything with Blizzard products, or I said I was going to do this with Blizzard products. Oh my God, they just announced my favorite game of one of my favorite franchises of all time. Am I going to give in, and am I going to play that? And it's not going to be released till 2021 probably, I'm going to guess. So that gives me a year of decision making on, is this going to die down? Okay, are they going to make it right? Because they could. There is a very good way they could make this right in the next year. You don't know. We don't know at all. Now, they probably won't, but you never know. So if they do that, and it's like, oh, shit, now I can buy this and feel okay again. It's not something where you're going to get judged. It's just one of them things where you have to make your own moral decision and be okay that you're living with it. You have to live with that, So I'm going to have to make the moral decision when Diablo 4 gets announced and say, all right, Mike, what do we want to do? Do we want to do this? Is this something that we want to buy right now, or do we want to go ahead and wait till late, which obviously I don't pre-order games anymore, but it'd be something that would be bought. Do I want to do it date? Let's say they announce a May 2020 release date. Okay, that's still kind of close. Do I want to go do that? No, probably not. So I'm going to wait because it's a moral thing. It's a, once again, it's do you want to or not? kind of thing. And how do you feel?
And they're going to take a hit definitely. For sure. You know, they're already seeing stocks drop. I think, what did I say? They dropped 4%. Or 4% since then, and that doesn't sound like a big number, but that is a big number to a company who, you know, the totality of what they're earning, 4% is lots of fucking money. So that's nothing to fucking scoff at. So, you know, I think we'll have a lot more to say on next Saturday or next weekend after we find out what happens at BlizzCon.
Yep. And it'll be...
So I really would hope that Blizzard mans up, so to speak, and does the right thing.
I agree.
If they don't, then whatever. So, also, I really want to see fat people in Winnie the Pooh outfits pretending to be a Chinese president.
I would fully love that if that actually fully happened. And I'm hoping that people actually really do dress up as Winnie the Pooh and do this, because that would be lovely.
I'm cosplaying what?
You can't do nothing about it. So let's you think you're ready to move on to the next story here? Yeah, because honestly, I know it sounds horrible, but I'm honestly tired of talking about this shit over the last couple weeks. It's you know, I hate it for people like I'm not sure if anybody else listens, but I talk a lot about a lot of my podcasting wants came from a show called an outlet called Kinda Funny. I love watching their shows and listening to their shows, and they have a daily video game podcast called Kinda Funny Games Daily, and they've spent, I think they just said it was 2 weeks where Blizzard was in the news every single day, and they were talking about it, and I couldn't do that every day. It would annoy the living shit out of me. Like, just the little bit that me and you have talked about it has annoyed me, just because it's just something I don't agree with, you know. It's just annoying. So yeah, let's move. Let's hope. Well, actually, I guess it will be. Our next time we talk about this shit will be BlizzCon.
And we can have reinvigorated and fired up about it.
Yes, wonderful.
Awesome.
So our next story comes from Game Revolution. It comes from Robert Adams. Okami 2 may have been released. I'm not sure if anybody remembers Okami. I honestly have never played Okami, and I want to. It's one of the, just like Bully. Okami and Bully have always been on a backlog of games that I have to play, and I just never done it. And this came out from this was basically in a tweet from Okumi Nakamura, if nobody remembers who that is. She was the Tango Gameworks creative director on the game Ghostwire Tokyo that we've seen at E3, and she just recently left Tango Gameworks and is now looking around. So I have a feeling that, and I've been seeing her at a lot of places. Like, I've seen her at what's it called? We make God of War, Sony Santa Monica, Platinum Games, different places of that nature. So I think these are a lot of job interviews, should I say? She was there, and she sent a tweet out and said, "Okami is going to be back. We want to make Okami sequel, and fans are looking forward to it. You guys want to see Kamaya's Okami again, right? Everyone, I want to work on it too." And then you see Kamaya, you see Mr. Kamaya on the side of her in the video, and he said, and Hideki Kamiya is a freaking jokester. He says, "Okami is going to be back." And she says, "Really?" And he says, "Really?" They both laugh as she, like, awkwardly walks away. So it's kind of one of the things where we don't know. I don't think you should take it serious, but it could be a thing that they want to do. They do want to make it, I can tell. So we'll see. I'm kind of hopeful. So just so if there's two out at one time, I can play both of them at once. So that would be kind of nice. All right. So, Jonathan, did you ever play Okami at all?
That is the white Japanese dog.
Correct.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's a platinum joint, man. They're crazy.
Honestly, no. I sat there, I think for a long time. There was a bunch of other games coming out, and I just put it to the side.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was. I always wanted to, and I had it installed on my Xbox for a while, and then deleted it because I was just like, man, I'm not gonna go back and do this. And now they've released so many HD remakes, I'm gonna go ahead and I need to play it, man. But there's so many games that come out, it's kind of hard. But with all these delays in the news coming up soon, it's gonna be nice to try and it's gonna be nice to try and play a little bit with these delays coming out.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot more room.
Can you hear everything?
Can you
okay?
hear me all right?
Yeah, because it was
yeah.
it kind of cut out there for a minute.
Yeah, your video froze.
Okay,
but I can still hear you.
Yours did too,
so.
but I, you know what? I keep these things in because these are all bloopers. I keep these things in the episodes. I'm okay with it.
For sure.
All right, let's move on. Go ahead and move on.
I'm stuck here with my finger in my nose.
That's okay. Cool. please do that next time you're going to freeze. All right, John.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead and move on to the next story.
All right, so if you guys haven't heard, Fallout First was announced by Bethesda for Fallout 76. Fallout First is a subscription program that will be $100 a year or $12.99 a month. Basically, you're buying your private world. You can have about 7 friends inside your own private. Is it technically a server?
Yeah, it's technically a server. Yeah. And the bad here's the bad part about that. Here's the bad part about what you just said. So they give you 7 friends or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So each one of your friends has to pay that $100 a year.
Are you shitballing me? I didn't read that part.
That's from what I've read. That's what it sounds like. Is that so? If me, you, and 5 other of our friends wanted to start a private world in Fallout 76, I got to pay the $100. I got to pay the subscription. You got to pay the subscription. Somebody else has to pay the subscription. But then I've also heard that if there's 7 people on a server and the one person that's paying the subscription decides not to pay it again and they drop off, another person has to start paying the subscription. So I don't know if that's how that goes. So there's 2 ways that I'm not sure. So
yeah, that's kind of speculating at that point. We don't really know exactly how this is going to work out.
So the one thing I will go ahead and let's go ahead and read the benefits of what you get.
By the way, this came from Jordan Remy at GameSpot.
Okay, so what you're going to get from this Fallout First, as they're calling it, which, to be honest, coming from an outside source who doesn't play Fallout 76 people may be happy about this. From what I've seen, the community is actually pretty pissed off about it. From me, you already have a small fan base, and you just fucked over your small fan base that loves this game already. So the benefits you get private worlds where you can play in a private world exclusively for you and up to 7 friends. The scrap box, unlimited storage for crafting components in your own new scrap box container. The survival tent, a new placeable fast travel point with a stash, sleeping bag, and more for your basic needs. Atoms, you receive 1,650 atoms per month to use in the atomic shop. And from what I've heard, John, 1,650 is an outfit, basically. A Ranger armor outfit, an iconic Fallout outfit exclusively for members, and icons and emotes pack. Unique icons and emotes available only to members.
This feels so much like it's just they're really trying to get their money out of this. Like, so that's all it seems like. And I think they're trying to play it like it's a deal for everybody, but I don't think it is.
Let me tell you what would piss me off about this whole situation more than anything is the fact of Bethesda, when this was announced, stated that everything that was coming to this game was going to be free.
Yes.
Everything was going to be free. And then you throw this shit on people. And then you say, and let me also announce that they just delayed their main expansion for this, which was going to give you NPCs and quests and pretty much Fallout shit that should have been there in the first place. They're gonna put all that in, and it just got delayed. So since that got delayed, and then you throw this at people, you should have just dropped the content and been like, you know what, guys, listen. On top of that, and able to hold these servers up for the 20,000 whatever of you guys, we have to do this, and this is what we have to do. No, this right. So basically, you chose this over that, and you fucked up on that, because now you got a lot of people pissed off. And with this whole situation, I mean, they're pissed off enough to where in this same story, Jonathan, why don't you tell everybody about the second part of this?
Oh, there is a nice gentleman who found out about the Fallout First, and he took advantage of the situation by buying the Fallout First domain name. So now if somebody types in Fallout First, all words, no numbers, .com, you get his propaganda page, basically, bashing Fallout First, and I believe he refers to it several times as uh, Fallout fuck first or
Fallout
Fallout
fuck you.
fucking first,
Fallout fuck you
fucking
first.
first,
Fuck you
fuck you
first.
first.
Yeah.
That's it. Fuck you first. Um, it really is beautiful because he just goes on and rants on and just basically rips it apart, rips apart this move, and take some time if you have a chance. It's really quick. Obviously, you just pull out Fallout Force first on your webpage and just read a little bit, and you will die laughing. And he just really just kind of picks apart even the list of things that you get with Fallout First. So
Yeah, I mean this story we got from there comes from BBC News and comes from Tom Gherkin over there, and the guy's name is David Chapman, and he spent a total of where was it on here? It was in here $27.46 to get this domain name, and so he paid $30 to get this domain name just to piss off Bethesda, and the dude is smart. I'm so glad that he did this because it cracked me up when I seen it, and then I actually went to the website and I laughed at the website, and it's great if you just go down and read a bunch of this because he's basically just like John says, bashing the whole fucking situation and what's going on. Another thing that's happened actually recently is the scrap box. Bethesda announced that if you had stuff, so basically a scrap box is like your basically where you would put all your scrap into all your parts. Players lost a bunch of that stuff because they were doing this. They lost a bunch of their stuff that was in their own scrap box. So they're just screwing their own people over at this point. It's hilarious to me. I don't understand how you fuck okay, number one, you have a shitty launch of this game. Very shitty launch. Number two, you don't have a lot of player base that's still around, but the people that do love this game are a wonderful community, and they talk about it, and they talk about how much they love this game. Number three, you're fucking over the only people that love this game. You know, I heard some people, excuse me, I heard somebody ask this week about, does this make you worry about Elder Scrolls 6? And to an extent, it kind of does. It's like, well, okay, Bethesda, y'all been fucking up a lot. What are you going to do? Because right now we're looking at, I think we're at 10 years since Skyrim came out. So they're 10 years in development right now of Elder Scrolls 6, whatever it's going to be. So, which I would not doubt we see more maybe at E3 next year or the year after about Elder Scrolls 6. Because it's obviously next gen, obviously. So it makes me worry about that. And you know, it's just kind of crazy that this kind of stuff happens, man. It's oh my god. Like I said, the main thing that pisses me off is and it would piss them off, I'm sure, and I can understand it, is that there was all the post-launch content was going to be free. Yeah. You know? So.
And well, obviously the factors involved kind of put that situation where they want this game to survive, so they had to go back on their promises, but still it's very fucked up.
And
but I think they'll have to do a service. I don't want to say a fan service because obviously that's connotations in anime, but they have to give something with Elder Scrolls when it comes out. They're going to have to sacrifice what they want to make more money so that it's a game for the fans to make up for this bullshit.
Right.
You know, there's a great comment in here about the microtransactions. I want to read it word for word. As a Fallout fuck you first slave, you have access to exclusive discounts in the surprise mechanic shop. That alone kind of says everything. You as a consumer to this, you are a fucking slave after you pay $100 for this shit for discounts for surprise mechanics. Fuck you. And that bullshit, by the way, just ridiculousness. But anyway, you were going on and saying.
I was going on saying what?
You were starting to say something before I seemed like I cut you off there for a minute.
No, you didn't cut me off. I'm not. Okay. I don't remember what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Basically, I don't remember what I was gonna say now. But anyway, what I'll throw in there is that it's just fucked up. I mean,
yeah,
you know, it's crazy to think that you have such a small to medium sized player base that really is a good community and talks your shitty, you know, I don't want to say shitty, but your shitty launched game that everybody hated, but this community is stuck around with it. And this is what you do. You know, you do this instead of doing something good for those people. You know, what if you told everybody that's been like, hey man, you know, the only way I could see this lasting is you say, hey, everybody that's been with us and stuck with us, and we know who's logged in every day for the last so and so however long, because we're a year out at this point since this game's launch. You don't have to pay us for this service. You know, that right there, then they're like, bam, okay, now you win some of the community. Because I don't feel bad for people like me and you, because obviously I don't play Fallout 76. You bought it, but I don't play it. But
yeah,
I feel bad for the community that's still playing that is getting fucked over. Especially just because that's how this is, you know. Kind of just feel bad for them, man. But, you know, fuck you, Bethesda. It was kind of some bullshit. Y'all, I swear to God, dude, Bethesda's always been my favorite video game company, man. They always have. They've been my favorite publisher, my favorite developer. And, Jesus, they're just pushing their way out.
I mean, you have evil video game company, moron video game company that's just constantly fucking up. I mean, you got EA, you know, all of them. It just seems like we're flooded with those kind of companies that are immoral or, you know, making dumbass decisions.
You know what's funny is we're talking about all this shit. I never thought I'd see a year where I don't think EA is going to take most hated company in the country this year.
Yeah,
I think Blizzard's going to end up taking most hated company in the country this year.
I think that's going to be. And we need to have like awards for that.
I bet
at the end of the year.
I bet Andrew Wilson, which if nobody knows is EA CEO. I bet Andrew Wilson was sitting up in his office when this Blizzard shit happened. He's like, "Oh my God, nobody hates us right now. This is fucking lovely." I bet that's exactly what was happening.
Release it. Release everything.
Hurry up. Go find shit on.
They still love us.
Go find shit on him and leak. Just, you know what? Everybody's been wanting Skate 3. Skate 3's coming out tomorrow.
If Trump can do it to Joe Biden, we can do it to them.
God damn it. Even though I don't understand that reference because I'm ignorant with politics, I'll take it. You know what? No, it's okay, because I am very open with the fact that I know I'm ignorant with politics, and at least I admit to it. Unlike some people who will talk about it all the time and don't know shit what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I admit to it. That's why I have you here, so you can explain things about politics, and I can just be ignorant and try and understand it the best way possible.
Oh, man. Hey, listen. One of us keeps up on it, and that's all you need for the fucking podcast.
That's all I need. That's all I need. This ain't a politics podcast. We will
exactly.
We won't never have one of those. Well, unless you want to, buddy, but I will never be on that.
Oh, no. There's no reason for us to go and get people upset over fucking politics.
I will be on it, actually, because I'll talk about cheeseburgers the whole time.
Cheeseburgers.
And I also...
Let's talk about this this major corruption. But cheeseburgers?
So,
McDonald's is making America great again.
Make America great again.
Sorry, good.
No, you're fine. Let's move on to these next. We actually have two more stories left. We're going to put them together. So because of these next two stories, can we call this Delayoween?
Delayoween?
Or
I don't know.
Delaytober? I feel like I like the way I like Hallow Delay. Hallow Delay.
Postpone.
No, Jonathan. I need you to put Halloween and Delay together, or October and Delay together.
It's got to be Halloween related.
Well, I mean, we're in October. No, never mind. You're not understanding what I'm saying. Jesus, it's in my mind. It's in my mind, not yours. Listen.
I'm like,
So, the first part of this...
we're going to scare away the games.
No. I was just talking about everything got delayed this week in one time. It's in my mind, goddammit, not yours. Leave it alone. I can't... I don't know how to put words, obviously. So, Naughty Dog's Neil Druckmann came out this week. And, as we all know... Last of Us 2 release date was put out a couple weeks ago. They had an event, and it has been delayed until May 29th. So this story comes to us from Jonathan Dorbush at IGN. the quote is basically this. I'm going to read the whole fucking quote, John. Let me cut to the chase and get the news out of the way. The Last of Us Part 2 has a new release date of May 29th, 2020. I know it was just about a month ago we had our big blowout for the game, letting media play over 2 hours of it with debuting our new story trailer and revealing the release date. The positive response we saw from our community was overwhelming. You can feel the energy among the team members after working on something for so many years. It's invigorating to get a glimpse of validation for all the hard work. We realized we simply didn't have enough time to bring the entire game up to a level of polish we would call Naughty Dog quality. And I'm going to stop right there before I go into the rest of the quote. But Naughty Dog quality, when he says that, is if you've ever played an Uncharted game, you obviously know it's Naughty Dog. The amount of polish they put into those games is almost amazing. Last of Us was just an amazing game. It looked great for the time, and I have a feeling this is going to be great. It's not that long, 3 more months. I mean, here's what I'll tell you. You can be pissed off about it. You can be annoyed by it. You can be upset. But you got to if you give the people more time, they'll give you the game that you deserve. That's the way I feel, at least.
I feel super accepting of that.
So
in
do
the
I.
same vein.
So do I. I'm okay with that.
I care so much about Last of Us Part 2 that fuck it. I don't care if you delay it another month again.
It's been
or whatever.
7.
I just want this great game to have an experience.
It's been 7 years at this point since Last of Us dropped. If you can wait a couple more months. It's okay. I mean, here's the thing. Do you want a game to come out buggy, or do you want a game to come out with almost no bugs or no bugs at all and be an awesome experience? Which one would you want? Which one do you're paying for this? Remember, So we're going to the next quote. Neil Druckmann continues and says, however, it was during the last few weeks as we're closing out sections of the game that we realized we simply didn't have enough time to bring the entire game to a level of polish we would call Naughty Dog quality, as I stated. At this point, we were faced with two options: compromise parts of the game or get more time. We went with the latter, and this new release date allows us to finish everything to our level of satisfaction while also reducing stress on the team, which is another big thing. This is the end quote there, but it's another big thing. You don't want to put stress on the team, obviously. While we're relieved that we won't have to compromise our vision, we're disappointed that we weren't able to avoid this exact situation. We wish we could have foreseen the amount of polish we needed, but the size and scope of this game got the better of us. We hate disappointing our fans, and for that, we're sorry. We hope you understand that this additional time ensures that The Last of Us Part 2 lives up to our collective ambition as well as our commitment to the highest level of quality. We know the extra few months will add to what may already be an excruciating wait for all of us. We are grateful for your patience and continued support. Come next May, you will finally rejoin Ellie in The Last of Us Part 2. So
that makes me excited right away.
I mean,
just listen.
Just
to
that statement. I mean, the statement alone. And
the size and scope part right there. That really
I honestly think a lot of this has to do with Sony. I honestly feel like because I feel like a lot of this has to do with Sony being like, you got to get a release date out. You got to get a release date out. You got to get a release date out. They put the release date out and then like, I told you fuckers we didn't have enough time. We're not going to be able to get it out. And bam, now you got to change your release date up. So, yeah. I mean, if they would have came out and been like, hey, May 29th, at first, everybody would have been like, oh, okay, yeah, that's about right. But here's what you got to start thinking about. If PS5 launch is next holiday, May is like the perfect time. May is like the end of the cycle of, I'm not going to buy this game because there's a new console coming out and I know they're going to release, because Last of Us Part 2 will be released on PS5 as well. So, and that's where I have a feeling that they're going to bring that no multiplayer mode that they said they're going to put in. They're going to put a multiplayer mode in Last of Us 2 for PS5. And it just makes sense. So yeah, there's that. And then on top, so anyway, guys, just be excited. Like be ready. Any Last of Us 2 lovers, like I'm sure, I'm not sure if you are.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, we're Last of Us 2 lovers, our Last of Us lovers. And I mean, Last of Us is a top 5 best game of all time to me.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
It really is, dude. It's probably a number 3 or 4 for me. And I love that game and I can't wait for Last of Us Part 2. Also, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The statements that they made, just saying the size and scope of that got the better of them, just it really like builds me up. Like holy shit, that even they're saying this game is going to be fucking great, and you kind of got to take that with a grain of salt.
There's 2 words there that you said: size and scope.
And scope. Yep.
I mean,
which blows my mind right there thinking about it.
Thinking about it, these people have already been working on this game for 7 years at this point. You know, if they're telling you that this game is this big, then you probably should fucking believe it, and you probably should just be like, okay, you know what, shit, you're gonna give me the game that I'm paying for, cool, awesome, let it ride, man. And you also, and here's the thing, I didn't think about this, you know, I'm sure that the holidays are a problem, because you want your employee, because if this is coming out in February, the people, your employees are working through they're working Christmas, they're working Thanksgiving,
right?
You know, they're working New Year's, you know. With this, with this being delayed now their employees can probably actually have a holiday. And yes, and we are talking about other people, because you should be a good person and care about other people. So, you know, the fact that they're not having to bust their ass on this game and they can go enjoy their families and stuff is a good thing, you know. So I think that's gonna be a good thing. So
100% agree. And it wouldn't be the first time too, like even if this isn't a hard date. I mean, how many times have you seen a game delayed and then they're like, oh, they finished it early, so fuck it. You know, this has happened. It's not like it's the first time that they haven't gone and said, well, we're actually going to release it a little bit earlier than the date we gave you last time because we actually finished it earlier. And it may get postponed. And all I say is, who cares?
Yeah.
You're going to get a great game eventually, so just relax if you're upset about it. You may get a little earlier, you may get a little later than this May 29th date. So just kind of sit and expect a great game, because the size and scope is going to be great for you.
Once again,
and you're really going to enjoy it.
Once again, 2 words: size and scope. Enjoy it. I can't wait. On top of that news, we had Ubisoft come out this week, and they delayed Watch Dogs Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, and Gods and Monsters. This story comes to us from Adam Bankhurst over at IGN. Basically, what was said is that all 3 of those will be delayed until Ubisoft's fiscal year of 2020 to 2021, which runs from April 1st, 2020 to March 31st, 2021. And a quote from Yves Guillemot says that we have decided to postpone the release of Gods and Monsters, Rainbow Six Quarantine, and Watch Dogs Legion until 2020-2021. While each of these games already had a strong identity and high potential, we want our teams to have more development time to ensure that their respective innovations are perfectly implemented so as to deliver optimal experiences for players. This decision will have a very significant impact on our financial results for this fiscal year and goes against our recent successes in building a more stable development model. However, it is in line with our strategy to maximize the future values of our brands for the long-term benefit of our employees, players, and shareholders. We expect it to have a positive impact on our financial performance as from 2020 to 2021. So, with that being said, to be honest, them talking about releasing Gods and Monsters in February of next year, with that, I remember talking about that having such a small development cycle. It was like a 2-year development cycle. That was crazy, and I was like, yeah, that's gonna delay. Watch Dogs Legion, on the other hand, that one, I was like, yeah, that one should definitely be up there, because I mean that one's one of those things to where, okay, when that happens, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, could you not hear me while that was frozen?
No, I heard you. I couldn't see you at all either. So
okay, we're learning here. I'm trying to make sure I should keep going when that happens.
Yeah,
okay,
just keep going.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if you could hear me or not. Cool. So see, I love when that shit happens, because that means I don't got to cut it out, because fuck it. So with Watch Dogs Legion, that was coming out March 6th, and Rainbow Six Quarantine, I really wasn't expecting that next year. Quarantine was the co-op together. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I thought I heard something.
Okay.
I was like, oh, I got to get a gun and start shooting people. There's somebody in my house.
I almost came over. I would have put a body cam on and recorded for the show.
All of a sudden, we just boom in ratings.
Oh, my God. It'd be more in ratings. It'd be a CNN story.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six Quarantine was that co-op Rainbow Six adventure of doing like the almost like I don't know if it was like a zombie type thing, but we got like a teaser trailer of it. This is kind of expected. Watch Dogs Legion kind of sucks because I was really waiting on that. Also in this story, they talked about how Ghost Recon Breakpoint and Division 2 did not live up to their standards. In a quote from Gamo, it says, "We have not capitalized on our potential of our latest 2 AAA releases for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. While the game's quality appeared on track based on E3, Gamescom previews, and our latest internal playtests, critical reception and sales during the game's first weeks were very disappointing. As we have done with the past titles, we will continue to support the game and listen to the community in order to deliver the necessary improvements."
They had the same bugs in that game, from what I'm told by a lot of people who are playing it, that the same bugs that were in the what's the term I want to use, the pre-release or the beta test or whatever they did. Yeah, the same bugs that were in it were in release.
Yeah.
Is somebody breaking in your house too?
No. I honestly really did think I heard something, but no. Yeah. To be honest, this quote right here makes me really realize why they probably delayed these. I mean, You see 2 big AAA releases of Breakpoint and Division 2 not do well. They underperformed, as this story says, and you're like, okay, do we want to go ahead and rush these 3 games out? Which is another thing of, you should be happy about this. You should be like, okay, Ubisoft, I see what you're doing here. You're doing wonderful. You see what you fucked up with the 2 games. You probably are losing money. There are people that are really enjoying those games, but you realize you're probably losing money from them. So now you want to go back and tink stuff. And Ubisoft is the best. People can call me a liar. I don't care. Ubisoft to me is the best. Is the best company to stick with and support their games. I mean, if nobody realizes, Rainbow Six Siege has been out now for almost 6 years. The Division sucked in the beginning. Everybody loved the Division closer to the end because they stuck with it. For Honor's been out for how long now? Almost probably 4 years at this point, and they've stuck with it. There's not that many people playing For Honor. It's things like that. They stick with their games, which is great. Wildlands was one of the best selling games of 2017, but then the game sucked. Nobody liked it. I loved it, but a lot of people didn't like it. It got bad reception. Then they made it better by the end. They stick with their games. They support their games. And
you don't have these high grossing games like Assassin's Creed series and the Hitman series, or not Hitman series, but
Watch Dogs.
No, well, I wasn't even going to go Watch Dogs, but I'm talking about more established. Splinter Cell.
There you go. That's a good one.
Those series have come out with tons of great games that we've loved over the years, and they've never failed us. As far as those true series, there are very few failures, I would say. Then,
yeah, I agree.
I don't want to say they never fail us, but sometimes it happens. Rainbow Six had a lot of great games, and they've just got that quality there that is worth it. And you never hear really anything bad about them doing something stupid or unethical or whatever either. So
I mean, the thing is,
at least not for a while.
I mean, the support stuff they've said, man, is like, think about it this way. They've already said there's not going to be a Rainbow Six Siege 2. They're going to keep going with this game, which means by PlayStation 5 and Xbox One, or Xbox whatever Scarlet's going to be called, they're just going to, will they probably drop a new release out with maybe better looking visuals on these new consoles? Probably. But they're not, but it's going to be the same game, and that's the thing. That's why I talk about support. They support these games so much, and they care about their communities. That's why I've always loved Ubisoft. I mean, they still have, I heard a story the other day saying something, and I forgot to put it in here. Excuse me. They have, oh no, it's in this story. It says right here, quote, the release of 5 AAA games, consequently, so they're going to have 5 AAA games in the next, between 2020 and 2021, I think they got 5 games coming out. I mean, so you look at, we had Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones has been delayed for a while. That's the pirate ship multiplayer type thing. You got whatever the next Assassin's Creed is, which I'm going to guess is Assassin's Creed Ragnarok, probably drop next year. Ubisoft's always there at the launch of every console, so I'm going to guess that they're going to be there for that launch of that console. So expect E3 to be Ubisoft showing off the new Assassin's Creed. You got Watch Dogs Legion. You probably got Beyond Good and Evil 2. and I can't think about, and probably Rainbow. Or I can't think about the other one, but yeah, I mean, this once again, I mean, I'm not sure how you feel, John, but to me, this just says, okay, Ubisoft, yeah, do your thing. You know, you came out the right way and did the right thing. You just need more time. You need more time. You need more time. Admit it. Don't fucking lie to people. You know, you admitted it. You know. So
I agree.
That's a good thing. Since we forgot this, John, let's move on to what we have been playing, and I'll start with you.
Okay. First off is Moons of Madness. If you don't know what that is kind of a suspense horror / Cthulhu on Mars type game.
Is that the one you showed me a trailer of a while back?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's probably like somebody in space with fucking tentacles kind of thing. Yeah. I was really excited for it. I'll say in the beginning it's kind of slow because there is a moment in the beginning where they do kind of put you in this scary realm, kind of set up what's scary. But then there's a long stretch in the beginning where you're just like this Mars scientist or whatever, and you're kind of walking around, opening doors and completing these very easy puzzles.
Right.
And but then something happens and it's like a light switch, just like a lot of horror games, where it just gets scary all of a sudden, you know, a cataclysmic event or whatever. But that delay there almost made me put it down because it's so slow in that beginning portion. But it's developing better. I haven't played a boatload of the game, but it's gotten a lot better. Hopefully the puzzles get a little better. It is definitely startling, make you jump in your fucking seat though. So and it's got the creepy, you know, oh gosh, what's the guy's name who created the Cthulhu universe? And,
it's shit. You had to ask me.
Yeah,
it's
Lovecraft.
Yeah,
Lovecraft. It's
Lovecraftian.
Lovecraftian.
There you go.
Yeah, it's definitely Lovecraftian. So I really liked it, and then I'm gonna keep playing it.
That's awesome.
To figure it out because I paid for it. But Outer Worlds is the other one that I started playing.
I am also playing that.
I got a couple hours in, 2-3 hours in. Definitely got the beginning quests done. It's a really fun game. It's got a lot of comedy in it too, and I really like.
Just to give you a little bit of insight on the Outer Worlds, Outer Worlds is a game created by Obsidian, and Obsidian is the original developers of which. This game has the original developers of Fallout. Obsidian is not the original developers of Fallout, but the gentlemen that were originally the creative directors, I believe. But Obsidian made Fallout New Vegas. Which I meant to say something during that whole Fallout first shit. You know what I find funny about that is that they're charging $13 a month for that, but you can pay $9.99 for Game Pass, or sometimes $2 a month for Game Pass, and Fallout New Vegas is on there.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a Fallout itch that badly, you can just go there and get that. You know, it's funny. But anyway, I digress.
You can get all of Outer Worlds right now for $9.99.
If not less than that, you can get it for $1. I think you can
for $1.
I think you can get.
Just download it like that.
I think you can get 2 months for $1 right now, and that's you can play that game for $1, which I'm pretty sure that's going to be in some kind of Game of the Year talks. I'm pretty sure this game's going to be in some kind of Game of the Year talks. It's not a 100-hour RPG, which I love. It's a 40-hour RPG that's more replayability. You can play as a fucking moron if you want to, because there's literally idiot answers in there you can answer if you want to. I'm loving this game so far, man.
There's like 30 dialogue options
on every page.
Not that many, but every
Jesus.
You have like 5 or 6 at the very minimum of dialogue options, and some of them are whacked out fucking crazy. You know, you tell people to just fuck off. And I love the fact, like, there's this Rick and Morty scientist in the beginning.
I love it.
That's the best part.
And I'm you know what? The comedy, man. The comedy of this game cracks me up, because comedy is so hard to do in a video game. And because I've played some games where people are like, man, this game's so funny, and I play it and I'm like, psh, didn't do shit for me.
Most of it's like punny.
I've probably
kind of shit, you know?
I've cried in more video games than I have laughed, if that makes you feel, if that makes you tell anything.
I 100% agree with that statement.
You know, it's because the narratives do more to me. But this is, I literally was laughing in that first little bit, and it was cracking me up. Especially when you're in dropship and they come down, it's like, oh, guy's waiting on you, and you're like, no, he's not, because he's under me.
He's dead. You landed on the motherfucker.
And then you hear a guy. I told the guy to plant the beacon and get away, and obviously he didn't listen.
And it's that Rick scientist character. I can't even think what his name, but all I think of is like Rick and Morty. Like, this guy's just crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a beer in his hand.
Yeah.
Burping and all this other stuff.
It's hilarious.
It's
man.
Really so good.
It's really funny.
I'm really excited to complete that game.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm ready to play it some more. I'm playing that. I'm sorry. Are you finished with? Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. I'm playing that, and also playing. The only thing, like I've stated before, the only thing I hated about this game is that it came out on the same day as Modern Warfare. With this, take all the extra access Activision shit away. It's the best Call of Duty game in 12 years. The fucking campaign's only like 4 or 5 hours long. I haven't completed it yet, but as much as I'm in right now, I'm probably about 3 hours in, so I'm probably close to beating it. The game is almost game of the year material. Like let's put it like this, dude. There's moments in it to where, like, a car explodes in front of you. It reminds me so much of Battlefield, where it's like, oh shit, my face like actually like lights up, and I'm like, oh shit, and I haven't done that in a game in a long time. I've also been telling my friends about this. I'm not an uncomfortable person. You can do a lot of shit in front of me and I don't get uncomfortable. I actually feel uncomfortable playing.
That is awesome.
But I love it.
And I know that's a weird thing to say.
But it's not.
But that is awesome.
It's not an uncomfortable feeling where, like, oh no, I'm not going to play this. Like, no, I'm going to go back and play this multiple times on multiple difficulties so I can see how this is, because it's real shit. It's real shit that happens. Real terrorist shit that happens. Like this. Like, if you don't decide to play it, you should at least play the campaign. But if you don't do it, dude, look up fucking a playthrough of the Piccadilly Circus campaign level. And it's like, oh my God, this shit can actually happen, and this is so real. And it's so, you're immersed, man. You're in there, and you're feeling bad for these people. You're seeing this stuff happen. You know, you're watching your squad members die in front of you and stuff. It's like, oh my God, this is all shit that really happens. And like I said, the discomfort is there. Talk about getting in your feelings, whatever. But that right there was so fucking crazy for me, because I've never had a game like make me feel uncomfortable. You know, like I said, it's hard, and this is like, oh my God, I feel so uncomfortable, but I love this. Like, it's like I feel like that's what the franchise needed. The game being called Modern Warfare, obviously people would go back and say, well, they rebooted it, or whatever you want to say. Yes, it is a reboot, and it is a amazing reboot. They knew they couldn't fuck this up. They knew it, because if they fucked this up, they would lose the audience forever. And they knew that. And it's amazing. I love it. The multiplayer is great. I'm loving it. I haven't been into a Call of Duty multiplayer in a long time, and I'm playing so much of it. I'm enjoying this. I'm loving so much of it.
That's my favorite thing. And you brought up emotions earlier, about video games. Is some of the best video games I've ever played put me in an emotional state.
Yep.
Or I care so much. I think we can, spoilers real quick for you guys. Gears 5.
Skip about 20 seconds ahead if you don't want to hear this.
Gears 5, there is a decision you have to make between the death of two different people, and you want to sit there and you want to debate about it, but this is something you just have to decide quickly, and you're like, I made the wrong decision. You know,
who did you choose? Who'd you kill?
I feel bad about it, because this was a wrong decision in my opinion.
You killed Dell, didn't you?
I killed Dell, and I didn't want to kill Dell.
No,
I wanted to save Dell.
I killed JD.
But I felt like JD was...
He's a dick.
He is a dick, and I hated his character, but I felt like he was the important person in the... And that's okay. In the game.
That's okay,
and
because
that's why I chose him.
That's the kind of decision they want you to make.
Dell's character more.
Yeah, that's the kind of decision they want you to make, though, and that's why the game is so fun, because that's why the narrative is so good, because they want you to make that decision. And in Gears 5, I'm sorry, so keep skipping ahead. Keep skipping ahead because there's still spoilers happening. But I saved Dale because I feel like JD was just so much of a dick. And I like JD in Gears 4. I do not like JD in Gears 5. Like, I like the fact that he came, I didn't like him in Gears 5. I like the fact that he came around. I liked his character. I like the fact that he came around eventually and was like, yeah, man, I fucked up. I'm sorry. But I just didn't. But that first part, I just couldn't get over. That being a dickhead shit, I couldn't get over. And I was like, nah, fuck you, buddy.
Oh yeah, we're talking about JD.
JD, no, I like Dale. Dale was probably one of my favorite characters ever in Gears. I love JD. Or I love Dale. Dale is awesome, man. So anyway, we'll get
when Gears 6 comes out. I'm definitely gonna say that I killed JD when it asks me.
Yeah.
But that's the one of the great things. Like, it pulls at your heartstrings. There have been games that I've played where I legitimately, and I'm not too much of a fucking man to say this, that I legitimately cried because there was such an emotional scene. There was such an emotional connection that I related to.
Oh, I'll tell you.
know?
I'll go ahead and tell you. I mean, I'm not sure. I cried literally during the end of God of War. God of War is my favorite game of all time. It has moved above Final Fantasy VII as my favorite game of all time. God of War 2018 last year is my favorite game of all time, and it's because of, I mean, if nobody knows this, recently I've been a father for a while now, but I actually became a father recently, and I also have 2 other children. Me and my wife have 3 kids, and this game is about finding the ways to be a better father, or your emotional trip, or finding ways to indulge with your son, or to be a better dad. And watching Kratos grow, and watching him be a better dad to Atreus as the way's going, and to finding out at the end who Atreus really is, and all that good stuff. It's like, man, like it makes you think about things with your own kids and things in your own life. And that one hit me pretty hard, and still to this day, it's hard for me to actually go back and play God of War, because it's like, man, I was going through something when I played this, and it hit me real hard, and it's my favorite game of all time because the narrative is so amazing, and I love that fucking game, and like, it's made it so bad where I've contemplated getting a God of War tattoo because of how much it's actually done to me. Yeah, man. That
was similar to you say that, and it just reminds me of Last of Us, and playing Last of Us with that negligent father figure, Joel
and Ellie.
And there were things I was going through at the time where I related emotionally to that, and where she thought she was going to lose him, and they gave us that long pause where we weren't sure if he was alive or dead, or some of the other different things that were going on that were very emotionally drawing and pulling, that made me relate to me being a cop and my kid, and all the other stuff. Games like that who really, really work on this emotional human element are the games
that's what I want to play.
Become all-time greats.
That's what I want. So, and it cracks me up how people always say, and we'll get back on subject in a minute, but last thing I want to say is, like, it cracks me up how people say, like, single-player games are dead. And it cracks me up how that's said, but then you get, like, a masterpiece. Like, you see something like God of War. God of War obviously had no multiplayer. And, like, it won Game of the Year last year from the Game Awards, which is really the only Game of the Year that matters. And it won Game of the Year last year. I mean, how are you going to say that single-player games are dead? We always talk about, I'm an Xbox fanboy, obviously, but I have a PlayStation, and the only reason I have it is for exclusives, because their exclusives are so good. They're so great with single player games. And I mean, so yeah, I'm playing Modern Warfare, and it's a lovely little game. Expect a review possibly soon, once I actually fully get it done. But I can tell you, as of right now, I'm loving this game, and if you're a Call of Duty fan, I definitely, if you were contemplating on not getting it, or if you should get it, fully look into it. So let's move on into Budget Gamer. This week on the Epic Game Store, you can get Layers of Fear Masterpiece Edition and Cube 2 from right now until October 31st.
And then coming October 31st to November 7th, we're going to have Costume Quest and Soma. That kind of upsets me a little bit because I already have Soma, but whatever.
Oh well, now you can get it. Now you can get it in another library.
Exactly. So, all right.
New game releases this week. Door Kickers Action Squad on Switch on October 28th.
That sounds like such a cool
It
name.
does.
Like,
It kind of sounds like a. I'll tell you what, man, damn. I wish we could. I need to start learning how to put trailers in this. But we should watch a trailer of that. Kind of sounds like
I watched a little bit of it. It seemed like a little kiddish, but still,
it sounds like a SWAT type game to me.
It does. It does. It's not. I looked it up beforehand. Close to the Sun, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, October 29th.
I was telling you about this earlier. That game's already on PC. If you have it, check it out. It's not horrible. It's not something for me, but I thought it was okay.
It looks like it might be mine.
It might,
be up my alley.
I'm honestly probably going to try to hop back into it. Maybe I was just having a bad day. I was going through that situation at the time, so maybe that's something I can hop back into. Disgaea 4 Complete Plus for PS4 and Switch, October 29th.
Disney Classic Games, Aladdin and Lion King, PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, October 29th. I know I'll be buying this one.
Me too. I can't wait for that one.
For sure.
Dusk Diver, PS4 and Switch in the US, October 29th.
Forager, PS4 and Switch, retail October 29th.
By the way, guys, when we discuss this, if we say US, that means it's releasing in the US. Or if we say EU, it's releasing in Europe, obviously. And if we say retail, that means that it's going to be an actual physical copy, not just a digital copy. Right now, Forager, I believe you can get on PS4 and Switch as a digital copy. But that'll be a physical copy. I'm just going to say all three of these together, if that's okay, John.
Okay.
Resident Evil 5 for Switch, Resident Evil 6 for Switch, and Resident Evil Triple Pack for Switch, October 29th.
Okay. Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, October 29th.
Yakuza 4, the Yakuza Remastered Collection for PS4, October 29th.
I'll probably get that. Journey for Elysium, PC VR, October 31st. I looked a little into this and it looks kind of interesting, but I don't have the VR for it, so F it.
I might look into a trailer for that. Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Switch on October 31st. That'll be another one I try and pick up.
Super stoked about this game. I really want to play it.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait.
So that is the end of the new game releases, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's the rest for the week.
Not that much this week, actually. Let's go into a topic talk. I know we're going to talk about this when it comes time. So a new Star Wars trailer came out, and I'm a Star Wars fan as well as you are, and I don't really know if I want to go into the talk about the trailer, just in case we say something we might not want. Let's go ahead and go into a. I actually made you watch the trailer, and I didn't make you. You actually chose to do that.
It was an interesting trailer. I mean, it didn't really reveal anything, so it was good. I don't think we need to say anything more other than that.
Right. Let's go into since they've discussed that episode 9 is going to be the final of this saga. Rise of Skywalker is going to be the final of this saga. Let's go ahead and talk about. Let's give a quick talk on what we're wanting from Star Wars in the future. Where do you want to see it? I'll let you go first, and then I'll come after you.
I like what they're doing. I like that they have these offshoots, that they're giving individual characters their own movies. I'm really interested to see a Darth Maul centered movie, or even TV series would be fucking amazing. Oh yeah, just like makes you all warm and toasty inside thinking about it.
I got a half chub besides I got to pee.
I think they're gonna definitely do another trilogy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I feel like they're gonna turn it into the prequel stuff, of that similar quality. They're probably gonna F it up, but
it's kind of hard It's kind of hard having one of the biggest franchises of all time and then just be like, yeah, we're done. Yeah, you're not going to do that.
Yeah. Well, it's Disney, man. They're not going to do
that. That's like
money.
Epic shutting Fortnite down. Everybody thought they were done. They're not fucking done. They're going to make their money. It's kind of one of them. It's kind of one of the things. Disney's not shutting Star Wars down, but it's just the end of this saga. And to be honest, it was time. This saga needed to come to an end. It really did. You do need to do. I love offshoots. In an unpopular opinion, I love Solo. I thought Solo was a good movie.
I'd never seen who got upset about
Oh, there was
Solo
a bunch of
because
people.
I thought it was a great movie.
People hated Solo. People hated Solo because they don't like the. From what I'm realizing, a lot of Star Wars fans, and it's usually the older people, which they were kids when the original Star Wars movies came out. They don't like the older stuff. Like they don't like seeing stuff that happened. Like Solo obviously was a prequel to who Han Solo really is, and why he's like the way he is, and you know, or what do we call that? We call that I guess we can call it a prequel, but we call it a but anyway, so people didn't like that, and I loved it because that gave me more of a backstory of who he is. You know,
Yeah.
I want to see that a lot. I want to see an Obi-Wan backstory, which we're going to see, obviously, probably, hopefully, with the Obi-Wan series coming to Disney Plus. I can't wait for the Mandalorian. I want to see more. I want to see them do more stuff with like a Darth Maul series or a movie, dude. I would love with a passion. And that the guy that played Darth Maul, which was I see him all the time at cons.
I swear to God, if you hadn't said that guy, I would have been able to pop his name.
I couldn't tell you who it. Ray Park.
So easy. Ray Park. That's it.
Ray
Yep.
Park.
I've got his fucking autograph.
Watching him still do shit at cons, he still fucking got it. Like he can still do all the fucking moves that he did back in '99. Like it's 20 years later, and the dude can still fucking do it.
Do you know his story? Like his story is so amazing. I don't want to get into too much of it, but he started watching Bruce Lee, the movies and the shows, and he started reenacting those things kind of like on a trampoline and whatnot. Not to get kids to do this, but he ended up figuring out how to do these spin kicks and stuff that Bruce Lee did, and these flying kicks. Well, he really wanted to learn how to do it the right way, and he actually went to a very professional person and said, all right, well, show me what you got. And he does this crazy effing kick, and they go, how'd you do that? Well, I know, I'm sorry, it's not as great as Bruce Lee does it. Bruce Lee used wires. Like all these little kicks and things you're seeing there, it's all wires and stuff for TV shows. Like you actually did some amalgamation of it, and that's what really sprung his martial arts career. This kid learned things that grandmasters didn't even know how to do on his own, own time. So that's where this whole flippy thing comes, and then he just grew from there. Sorry, don't mean to give this whole backstory and drag this down,
that's
but
fine.
I always found that super interesting.
No, that is interesting.
About
It's
him.
very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, but you watch like what he does at cons. I mean, he always does some kind of fucking like show at a con.
Yeah,
demonstration. Somebody pays him, or somebody he does a demonstration. Which I mean, I'm sure somebody pays him every time to do it, and he'll fucking do it. But like, he can still do everything. Yep. Like it's crazy, man. Like it's awesome, and I would love to see that. Just going back to this, I would love to see them just do more stuff with do a goddamn R2-D2 backstory. I would love to see where R2's been. Like I would love to see where C-3PO's been. Like show me that shit. I want that. And
having lived with mega nerds, I feel like those things will piss off the mega nerds just
definitely.
because they've invested so much time into the books that aren't canon anymore and all the other garbage, and they go, no, this is how it's supposed to be because I read the books and blah 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 blah. Well, I'm sorry folks, Disney changed it, and you can be mad about it if you want to, but this is in the movies, you know what I mean? So I think that's part of the Solo problem as well.
I really want to see them do something with Darth Revan eventually.
Yes.
Darth Revan was real big in I believe it was Knights of the Old Republic, and then he was then he was I think they also had him in some books, I believe. I read all those books, and they are fucking amazing. Those are some of my next ones. I gotta look and see what I gotta find. But I really want to see them do something with Darth Revan. I really do. He's just a good like villain / hero. Yeah, it's like his dark side and light side at the same time. And have you been paying attention to? I know you probably haven't, but have you been paying attention to any comics coming out from Star Wars comics? The Star Wars comics, dude, are so amazing. Like they just started a new run of Vader, and the new run is so good. Like you should. I mean, I'm not sure how big you are into comics, but I love comics, and you need to really try and look into that. But anyway, like getting into I really want to see them keep going on with the prequels and the solo stories and the things of that nature. That's what I would like to see a lot of, and especially with these series like The Mandalorian coming out, that's going to give us, it's not really a Boba Fett backstory, but it is showing us what his people are like, and that's what I want to see. Because Mandalorians of how many times in the last how many years you've been alive, have you heard a lot about Mandalorians? I haven't heard much about Mandalorians besides the fact of Boba Fett's a Mandalorian, and I know what Symbol looks like. I want to learn Clone Wars, yeah. I want to learn more about these factions. I want to learn more about these people. I want to learn more about the lore. I mean, of course, you can read the books and do whatever, but it's better. It's better for some people to see in their face. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like the first 3 movies, we learned a lot about intergalactic trade law.
Yeah.
So hopefully they expand more on that. No,
oh yeah.
But
let's not bring Jar Jar Binks back.
Okay. Those rich stories there is so much fertile ground, and there's so much more in the canon as well that you don't get to see from the movies, and so I'm really excited to see that, and I'm really excited to see where they go with Palpatine, and if they do like the books did and have him, that transferred essence skill and all the other stuff, he could be an overarching villain for literally forever. Even becoming the essence of the dark side or whatever. One thing I'd really like to see them explore is the twins, that you get to see in the Clone Wars, with the father of the Force and the dark and light side children. That whole arc, I ended up downloading books after I watched that Clone Wars episode for the first time, and really learning about that lore. And it is very interesting.
Well,
very,
I know in the new, which I'm very happy about, by the way. Fuck, I don't even know what it is. Hold on one second. It pisses. I hate don't you hate when you go to think about something and it's not in your head?
Yes, happens to me all the time. Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order. So Jedi Fallen Order is coming out next month, and Jedi Fallen Order is going to be canon. It's supposed to be canon to the story, and the Second Sisters are in there, and the Second Sisters are in like some of the books and some of the shows supposedly. So I'm ready to learn more about that. The Second Sisters is something I want to learn about more of. So I'm really excited for this, man. I just can't wait.
By the way, if you folks out there in La La Land haven't watched Star Wars Rebels, highly recommend it. First off, because one of my for those who have also seen the Clone Wars and fallen in love with Ahsoka Tano, and her story, because I became very interested. She was this annoying kid, but eventually she came better, and I'm gonna skip over all that to say there is a moment in Rebels where, and it doesn't matter if I tell you what happens, there is a moment where she meets Darth Vader, and legitimately the whole thing, like tears welling up in my eyes, because she is facing her former master, and everything that is said in there just crushes and destroys your fucking heart. If you have a fucking heart, you will bawl your eyes out probably watching this episode that really just had a lot of emotion, and just like we were talking about earlier, just had a soul to it. So I would recommend watching Rebels if you've watched Clone Wars as well.
I haven't finished like the last season. I was actually just looking it up. I'm on the last season of Rebels because I haven't finished it. They took it off of Netflix, so I never got to finish the last season. So I'm gonna have to wait till Disney Plus comes back, and I'm gonna have to get back on that and watch it.
Do you know the scene I'm talking about?
I don't. Maybe I'm not at the last season. I don't. What season is that? When she meets Vader? Because if
I think that's second season, maybe third season.
Might be third. I know. I finished the second.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I'll have to look.
It comes in like halfway into second season or near the beginning of the third season. I can't remember.
What's the one that's on right now? Have you watched anything Star Wars? It's called
It's
Resistance.
yeah, Resistance is it's for children. It really is, and they give a little bit in there, but it is definitely for kids. Several people have said that they don't like it. I haven't personally watched it, so I can't tell you, but it is definitely made for smaller children.
Okay.
So adults more than likely will not enjoy it.
Are you talking about Rebels or are you talking about Clone Wars when it's Ahsoka Tano? Because I thought Clone Wars was Ahsoka Tano.
It is, but in Rebels she comes in.
Okay, I
believe in the second
I have
season.
not watched Rebels. I've watched Clone Wars. Clone Wars is what I was thinking.
Oh,
of.
okay.
I have
Clone Wars
I have not watched Rebels.
Is a lot, and you need to watch most of it to understand Rebels.
Right.
But Clone Wars is really good if you can sit down and take the time to watch the episodes, because especially the ones that Netflix and stuff took over, and created, yeah, those are some damn good episodes.
Okay.
But then go into Rebels and watch, because, I mean, for real, it's definitely a little childish in the beginning, but there's a lot of death and destruction in it, and Rebels gets super dark near the end. So, yeah, that's if you can find the time to watch Clone Wars, and at least get the most of it, then I would say move on to Rebels and watch that, because it'll fucking get you right in the feels, as the kids say.
I think I definitely will, because I mean Rebels was always one I didn't think I'd be interested in, but because I want to be in the lore and I want to get back into I'm so far out of Star Wars. I mean, the movies are my quickest lore. And some comics, like I said, I love the Star Wars comics. Jesus, I love it. And you know, it's I think I'm gonna have to go back, and I may have to restart Clone Wars because it's been a while. I may have to restart Clone Wars and rewatch Clone Wars, and then rewatch Rebel, and then go ahead and watch Rebels as well.
Yeah.
And I need to get into that.
I would highly recommend it, just because it definitely, Clone Wars adds so much to the lore.
Okay.
Like, legitimately, it helps you understand concepts of things that have happened, and there are some that are just fun. Or there's some in there that adds Easter eggs to other things and understanding to other things in the movies. So, yeah, definitely watch it, bro. Definitely.
I think the other thing I want to do, man, is I really want to listen to. I mean, of course, like I've always told people, I don't do well with reading books, but I'll listen to a goddamn audiobook in a minute.
That's what I did with all mine. That's how I learned all those books.
There's just so many Star Wars books at this point. It's like, you know,
you have Audible, right?
I do not have Audible, no.
Okay. I might be able to share my audiobooks with you.
Okay.
If you want, and I can send some to you, that because I have all these audiobooks that from Star Wars, like Darth Bane, the Palpatine books, those are the best. Those are really good. The ones that talk about Palpatine's master, the one that can control the midichlorians that created Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
There's a book that is about him, but it's also a lot about Palpatine, and explains him and how Anakin came to be, or at least enough to speculate. And it's just a quality book, and how Palpatine came who he was, and how Darth Maul came. Just a beautiful story. So if I can figure out how to share those on Audible, I'll share them to you, and you can listen to them for free. It's not a big deal.
Sweet.
So,
because I mean, it's definitely something I've always wanted to. I mean, I'm not really worried about the children stuff, but I mean, I'm like the stuff that would be like lore wise, I would really like to listen to, because I'm almost done with the Witcher books, thank God. And oh my God, I love this. I love being in Temeria. But anyway, dude, I love that. You know how everybody, like, obviously, if there was any world you could be in, it would probably be you might like the Star Wars universe, or you might like to be in Hyrule with Link. You know, there's always that fantasy world that you love. I have never had that. Like, well, I'm sorry, I have. I always wanted to be. I've always wanted to be just in a Ninja Turtle. I've always wanted to be in that vein, because that was what I grew up with. but I finally found my world, dude. Like, I like listening to the Witcher books. That's the world I'm so immersed in, man. The lore is so great. So anyway, guys, that's really where we want to see, and we'd like to hear from y'all and see where you guys want to see where this goes. Like I said, we're still trying to do this email segment where we can try and get some people to email in at ADHDgamerpodcast@gmail.com to send us some questions. Let us know how you guys feel about the Star Wars stuff and where you want to see it go, and so we can talk about it, guys. And you can kind of hear our opinion on it if you care, or if you don't care, you can still hear our opinion on it. John, you got really anything else you want to add, man?
I think I talked a lot, so no.
So guys, remember, you can check us out. John, you ready?
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me get ready. Okay.
You can check us out on Facebook at ADHD Gamer Podcast, YouTube.com. You will not check us out at that link, but it's close to that link. And then Instagram, ADHD Gamer Podcast, and you can listen on podcast services all around the world. Good job, John. Good job. Jesus, I'm gonna get so happy every time you do it right. So, guys, remember to check us out, and thanks for watching, man. This has been a wonderful episode 19. It's kind of late for us here, so we're ready to probably get done and do whatever. I'm ready to go hop on some Call of Duty.
Fuck yeah.
So, John, you got anything else?
Nope. I just say thank you, ADHD gamers, for listening. I know it was kind of a slow start, but I felt like this was a good podcast. So Thanks for listening. Yeah,
and we're gonna be slow for a while, guys. Remember, we might be 20 episodes in, but you're still learning at that point. So I mean, we're learning a couple things. So, but thank you guys for watching to this wonderful episode 19 of the ADHD Gamer. We will see you guys next week, November the 2nd, and we'll be ready to talk to you guys about BlizzCon. So, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy your night, ADHD gamers. Peace.